It's Sunday. This is Lucy's week 2.5 report card, basically. Yesterday I worked her again in the bareback pad. I actually saddled her first just like we did, and then I rode her again in the bareback pad and the halter. And she was really great. We walked and we trotted. We did a lot of lateral flexions in the halter, which she's getting pretty good at. And I worked on these in the bridle too. Just teaching her how to yield her head. And when you add some pressure back here, she should yield those hindquarters. Good. Good. And I'm just using my thumb, a little like a spur, because she's kind of sticky on this side, and I use my saddle strings just to make a little noise and tell her it does matter when I touch you there, you need to move. So that prepares her again for the one rein stop and yielding the hindquarters as a way to establish motion without giving up your safety and control. So again, putting her in a lateral bend, putting a little pressure, very good. That one was much better. Putting a little pressure where you'll use your heel, asking her to step around, stepping that inside hind foot across. Good, very good. This side was better than the other side. I'm going to go ahead and ask for one more on the other side. Good. Good. Lots better. Now it takes almost no touch. I touch and release now and now and now as the inside hind foot lifts, helping her understand exactly what it is I want from her. All right, I'm going to take her to the middle. I'm going to get on and off several times, then I'm going to go ahead and ride her. Ooh. I did already warm her up a little before we started filming just to save on some of the upload time again. She was great. She did not buck at a canter. She was a little hoppy for a stride or two, but she did not boil over and buck. She did great, so I'm going to go ahead and ride her. Good. Again, I'm just asking her to wait on me right now. I want her to not be impatient about getting on and off. I want her to give me as long as it takes to get on. And I want her to learn to hold her balance while I'm swinging around on her side. That time I did bend her neck a little. Sometimes I put a little bend in their neck. It's easy to overbend them and really throw them out of balance. But a little bit of bend kind of ensures that they're looking at you, and it does give you a little more control. Good. Oh. Yeah, good girl. Yeah. Very good girl. Good. I'm going to go ahead and tickle that flank, touch her butt, do all those things. Then I'm going to pet her soft, let her know it's me. Good job. Good. Ooh. Again, just like the bareback pad, I do like to wiggle around a little, touch them with my legs, pet them all over. Take a nice deep breath. Good. Just to show you how that hindquarter yield works, I'm going to go ahead and put her in a bind. Right leg, right rein. I'm going to turn my head as if I'm going to ride right back toward the camera. I'm going to ask her to yield that hip. There it goes. There it goes. Good. And from that bind, I can unwind her and send her forward. Then I could always take the slack out of my rein, put that leg on, put her back in a hindquarter disengagement, refocus, rebalance, get her mind back if she gets worried about things. As far as I'm concerned, those two moves right there, the lateral flexion, good, and the yielding of the hindquarters to pressure are about as important ingredients in a colt start as you could ask for. This has kept me safe so many times, just being able to put a horse in a hindquarter disengagement, coming down to a stop, or use that movement or that position, that body shape to reestablish movement. Good. Another really neat side effect is that gives you a good gauge of where your horse is because you're flexing and releasing the loin muscles under the saddle, which also helps the colt let go of some saddle tension. So it's just a really great exercise. All right, I'm gonna ask her to go forward. If you can see my legs, I'm sort of moving with rhythm, right? Teaching her that we move together in rhythm. Good, I'm gonna use my rein out here on her shoulder because she doesn't know how to steer with the bit very well. I'm using the left rein, tapping that right shoulder to help her learn what left rein means. This is all very new to her. And the last thing I want her to think is that she should ignore my rein pressure. Now she's headed back to the gate, I'm gonna steer her right. I'm gonna use my left rein on that shoulder, and I'm gonna start to build that right hand steering. Really good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and come past the gate, and we're gonna look for a little trot. Actually, I wanna come close enough that you can see what I'm doing with my hands. I do keep one hand on the horn most of the time when I'm riding colts, because I'm not a bronc rider, but it has saved my butt a lot of times on little things, spooks, jumps, and even a few small bucks. But I keep one hand on the horn, and when I change directions, a lot of times I'll just switch. That outside hand just rests on the horn, inside hand's free to steer the colt. And I call this defensive riding. It's a little like defensive driving, where you assume the other guy might make a mistake, so you drive extra careful. I'm gonna use my reins now, see if I can't get her trotting. I can always even let go of my steering rein to send a little energy to those hind legs and keep one hand on the horn. Pick up my steering rein again, come on by the trash can or come on by my barrel here. Good, good. Nice, nice forward rhythm, not trying to return to the gate. Really nice. I'm just using this inside rein, kind of that driving energy, right? She wants to fade to the gate, so I'm gonna add some energy on the other side. In fact, I'm just gonna take her to turn there because I didn't like the way she was leaning on my rein. Now we'll trot the other way. Good. Good girl. Really good. Yeah, good girl. She almost took a nice deep breath there. I'm gonna let her jog another lap. I'm gonna change direction again. There's that nice deep breath. I'll reward her for that. Now I'm gonna change direction again. Good. 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 Uh-oh, we got out ponies in ya. Colt left the gate open. Ooh. Well, we've got escaped ponies, so we're gonna go ahead and pause this. Zinnias, don't film over there. We're just gonna call it good. We gotta go catch horses, but I'm tickled with her and we're gonna come back to this.